Easy ye, how are we?
Johnny, good.
Oh.
Despite the sore foot. I was going to say, despite the showers, there's some showers of rain. My
There is
God.
the hail's coming down like 90 for slightly different reasons about your end and my end. I was looking at the last couple of days going, thank God I don't have to go for that, but there's a couple of them. If you're caught in that hail, forget about it. I'm looking across the fields, the poor sheep going over towards the hedge, just hoping for the absolute best to
Looking at
cover.
the horses doing the same. It's like, feel for them. While I'm laughing at them out the window. Ha! You bit of horse.
bad man.
Where's your jacket? But yeah, that's all I've been doing is watching wildlife out the window now. So it's getting a little bit boring, but it's look, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. We'll see. First, we're recording. What day is it today? Monday.
Today is Tuesday evening, but this one's out Thursday morning, hopefully, depending on that guy doing the editing.
First bicep only gym session tomorrow. Prescribed arms only. Isn't that amazing? That's a Seán workout of dreams. And I say that because watching your videos over the last weekend, it was all biceps and arms. Did you even run between events? What were you
Unfortunately, the videos of me trying to run don't look all that good. So Neva loads of me actually running. I'm like, nah, that's not going up. That's not going up. I had one or two fails that did go up. I realized the hard way during this that the only way, and this is a genuine thought, is the only way I want to get through this is to rely on my arms. So that was the goal to get through. There's one or two obstacles I'll get into that I realized. Obviously, some now was all right, but the way they have it set up is class. They have a proper festival feel to it when you get there. Like obviously, you're in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere. I had no idea whereabouts in Edinburgh I was, but they've all these different food vendors. One of them was like called Holy Duck, and it was just everything duck. And I'm like, when I finish, holy duck.
Line me up.
But it was just a pure festival atmosphere and stuff. And Neve enjoyed the MC and the Spartan gear a little bit too much. My first exercise was pushing up her chin, so I wasn't too impressed with him. He was there with his Spartan, his cape, and his 8-pack abs, and fucking 0% hair on his body. I wasn't jealous at all of the guy being in shape, but no, good setup. Wasn't that busy when we got there, and it was literally just, man, the hill at the start, you could see it was just whoomp, literally straight up. And I had a quick look at the obstacles the week before just to try and get an idea of technique on some of them, and I was glad I did. But you know yourself, when you do races, even like just if you're not too sure where you are, like as soon as this event started, I was like, I have no idea what's coming up. I did know Station 5. I'll talk to you in a second about that. But apart from that, I had no idea. Well, I knew the big ones, but I didn't know exactly where they were throughout the course. And they kind of ease you in. Like the first few was like there was different kind of walls. You jump over like a 4-foot wall. You go under the next part.
It was the bog standard, not bog standard, but the obstacle course expectation.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what it was. After that, then you had a couple of logs, like 3-foot logs or 4-foot logs to roll yourself over. And then the balance beams after that were a bit high. They were a good 5-foot height. Like, so it was like, this is grand. I'm up there going, oh.
I know, and you're 7 foot tall as well, which makes it much bigger.
I was glad I had 2 gels in each pocket, so it balanced me out from there. But then the next one, next one straight into the dunk wall. So the dunk wall was basically it wasn't as cold as I thought it'd be, but it was just a big pool with fucking wall. You had to duck yourself right under. If anyone's done Hallenback, very similar to what Hallenback is the very start. So had to throw the gels to the side because I'm like, I'm not losing my gels to the very start of the race. But it was just pure mucky and like I eventually, the only reason I put my head under was because someone was right behind me and like, like if I was there with myself, I'd probably still be standing there going, don't want to do this, don't want to do this. But because I just had that fear of water, and even when I put my head under for that split second, because obviously the muck and I'm closing my eyes and trying to close my nose and ears and everything, I was like, I don't know if I'm getting up out of this, and I panicked for a split second. I'm like, no, just shut up, Seán. It's only 3 foot high. Shut up, get through it. And then a couple of seconds later, obviously I'm up, and it wasn't that bad. And then we had to test out.
Do you have something to pull yourself through, or what way does it work?
It's just. No, you're just under it. You just have to walk forward, like, so you have the wall or the beam things above you, and you're literally underwater, but you're just crouched down and you're like on your hands and knees and just walking forward, like. But like for that split second, there's people in front of you. You do feel like, well, I felt like, because you know me when I'm like with water, I was like, ooh, don't feel comfortable here at all. Like I was just delighted to get out of there, and then it was time to see how the Any Given Run Day T-shirt, how quick that dried from there. Yeah, cut off sleeves. I was like, right, let's go. After that, then we hit your kind of terrain. It was just all woods and rivers and
stop
logs.
rubbing it in you.
I did. It crossed my mind because I said a stupid joke about us being in matching boots afterwards. So I was like, I am taking my time going through this, because I don't know how there's so many rivers in this estate, but you cross over like there must have been 10, 12 river crossings of different heights and depths and stuff throughout the course. But it was a lot of that and going through woods. That was probably a couple of kilometers, and that's the thing with this one. So I did a 21k beast, which is like 30 obstacles. There's other ones on that day where you have 20 obstacles over 5k and stuff like that. And like the last bit...
Hold on a minute. It's a half marathon as well as 30 obstacles.
Yeah, it's a half marathon. So they space it out with trails. So you get into a couple of obstacles. And after that, there's a lot of... Like, I was probably going 2-3k here, going through trails, going, all right, next obstacle, please. Yeah. And then eventually the cargo nets were there going up a hill. I'm like, okay, that's the next obstacle, up that. And then there was another kilometer or two of nothing. But all of a sudden I'm so high up in the scenes and stuff, and because it's all new to me, I was like, this is actually class. Like I started to fall in love with trail running again. I'm like, this, I actually don't mind the moment if there's not an obstacle coming up, but at the same time I kind of paid for obstacles, so please won't come up. And then the first real tough one came up. It was called Twister. So I think I explained this in the podcast last week or during the week. It is basically one long bar. If you can imagine a suitcase handle at 6 o'clock, the next one at 8 o'clock, the next one at 10 o'clock. But when you grab the 8 o'clock, that pulls down to 6. You grab one, that goes down.
Yeah.
And I got there. I put my hand up, and all of a sudden my hands are slipping. I'm like, why are my hands slipping? I'm like, well, Seán, you did put your hands through a dunk wall earlier, so the water. I'm like, this is shit. I got halfway across the thing, and the problem was before the next set of bars is a big gap. And I'm like, I have no idea where to put my hand. So I was trying to put my hand like in the suitcase with the other one and then go across. And eventually I fell. And I'm like, oh, this is shit. I'm going to try that again. I tried to go backwards. I got 2 rungs in. I'm like, fell again. I'm like, all this waiting for an obstacle. And I failed the first one. And it was the first time during the course I felt like shit. But they have penalty loops. Now, it's only 250, 300 meters, but you have a lot of time to think about what you did wrong. So I ended up going the loop down, back, and then I goes another couple of K just to be like, oh, that video I watched, I should put my hand twisted the other way and then swung across like Spider-Man. So I was getting real tick, and because you're going up and you're not too far away from it, I was like, well, I run back down and give it a go again. I was like, no, I better keep going on. So another K or two doing that. And then we end up at parallel bars next, which is basically bars 4 foot high, maybe 15, 20, maybe 15 feet long. You pretty much imagine a tricep dip, keeping the arm straight, walk across that. Yeah, I just walked across and it was grand. And then the next one I saw, I was looking ahead and there was a big queue of people. And this is the first time there's a queue since the in and out walls to start. Apart from that, there was no real queues for obstacles. It was great. Because there was so much running, we all kind of spread out. But there was a queue for this one. I was like, why is there a queue for this? Like, it was ladders, but the ladders move and they kind of dip down, go up, and go to another ladder that dips down and goes up. And as I get closer, I just hit a big psh. I'm like, fuck, that's a splash. That is water.
Oh, no.
Man, I'm not even saying this for a podcast. When I got to this obstacle, I was shitting it. I was at the side. There was one lad got across and people were dropping left, right and centre. Like they just were not making it across, because when you grab the bar, because the ladder, imagine like it's a rope kind of ladder. So it's kind of moving each way, and you don't just go straight across. You got to go up and up and up. And then because it's not exactly beside each other, 2 ladders, you kind of like swing across to grab the other part of it and then down and back up to get out of it. This lad was in front of me and he made it 3 rungs, Eric, and he dropped and he disappeared. The water just took him. Like it just what felt like 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, Eric, sea monsters are in there.
Oh
But
God.
it just gobbled them, and I just took a step back. I was like, I'm not doing this. And like, I was like, I can't. I stepped back, and 2 little lads went ahead. And I literally talked about having this conversation in the podcast. I'm like, right, I have to do this. I failed at the first real monkey bar test earlier. What's
Can't
going to
fail
get
the
me
second
through?
one.
I can't fail this. So I literally went, do I kind of swing it like Spider-Man, or do I lie on my biceps to go all on arms? Man, I bent those elbows at 90 degrees, and as soon as I started, the elbow stayed at 90. I was like, get me across, get me across, get me across, get me across. And I got halfway, big swing, caught it, get me across, get me across, get me across, and just somehow got through it. Some lad looked at me and goes, you made that easy. I was like, mate, I can't swim. Because the signs were there. It was a 5 foot, the water was 5 foot high. Obviously, it had to be a decent height, so you drop into it, and it was just all muck and shit. But had I dropped in, I went head first in for that 2-3 seconds, I would have panicked. I've had that once or twice before where I just completely panic. But the feeling of getting through that was class.
Yeah.
Like I was like letting out a roar, and everyone, thank fuck for that. I am at the stage I thought, I am done with water. That has to be the last obstacle. Water will move on. But there was more running after that. There was a good another 2-3K. And
But
then
what was the penalty there? Because you're saying there's penalties. If you took
laps.
a splash, you had to go do
You
another
had to do a
lap.
lap. Yeah, you had to do a lap. So every
man.
station, it was great that you were guided constantly through with like a white kind of ribbon or signs and stuff like that. But then any ribbon beside it that had an orange ribbon, that was your penalty lap. That was always beside most stations, and there was always at least one person in each one. Obviously, there was people at that called the ape hanger, because someone could literally die there. So there was a few people at that one, and then just on you went. And at this stage, I was like, if I saw an obstacle, I would walk 400 or 500 meters. So I wasn't winning the race. So I was conserving as much energy to do as I could. And then afterward, it took it out of you, man. Like after that, like even though I was just swinging across using my arms and not legs, I was like, okay, give me a minute, little walk, take that in.
And the adrenaline as well, though, of the complete change.
Out of all the obstacles, that was the one where I had the biggest adrenaline, because I was legit shitting it. I'm like, if I drop, man, this is the end of my race, and I'm in the middle of the field. Like I don't know how they're gonna get me back. Like this is gonna be horrible. But more running, and then we're into what was called the Tyrolean Traverse, which is basically the rope was only 8 foot high, but it goes around 20-25 feet long to hit the bell, and you have to like hang on. If you imagine you're going backwards, head leaning first, hanging up with your legs up.
Yeah, legs over it.
Yeah, legs over. I saw that, man. I was like, handy. Get to use my legs. Jumped up, fell the first time. Jumped up again, wrapped my legs. I'm like, oh, that hurts. Cable digging right into Achilles. And then like I brought my hands, I tried to glide the feet, and the feet just weren't coming. So I had to go like step one hand, step one leg, step one hand, step one leg, and like slowly make my way across that. And then like most obstacles that were difficult, people were just dropping left and right. And not that you want to see other people fail, but like when you finish an obstacle, you see other people fail, and it kind of gives you that kind of, well, I earned that, kind of way. But that was...
You've obviously not been watching those videos where the lads actually climb on top of the rope and go that way.
No, I don't know how you could do that.
You can, yeah.
That would be... But you'd rub your chest off it though, no?
No, the way you put your leg... Yeah, but you keep your chest on it, but yeah, there's ways you can go top. Instead of being upside down, you put your weight on it. It's slightly different. Shawnee! Quick question. Father Day is coming up on June 21st. Longest day of the year, I know. What do you get a dad who loves running, training, or just staying active? It's not a joke. Real question.
Longest day of the year. Easiest answer of the year. It has to be the Ultra Pure Sports Recovery gift set, right, Eric? Because that is the perfect Father's Day gift for runners.
We're getting better at these ads. I have to say, though, it does have everything you need for before, during, and after training. Epsom salts gel, a leave-on recovery gel, wintergreen heat rub cream, arnica cream for bumps and bruises, which I could probably do with a lot of myself right now, and a limited edition soothing foot soak.
Oh, I've seen your feet pics recently. You absolutely could do with that. So Whether you're shopping for yourself, someone special, or looking for the perfect Father's Day gift, the Ultra Pure Sports Recovery gift set is guaranteed Irish and something they'll actually use.
It's perfectly priced, just €40, and is a fantastic value for the complete recovery package.
And that's not all. Just put in the discount code RUN10 and you can get an exclusive 10% off.
That's RUN10 for €4 off. A great excuse to treat yourself or someone special this Father's Day. So shop now at ultrapurelabs.ie. And by listening to this advert, you are supporting Irish businesses and this podcast. Now let's get back to the episode. Happy Father's Day.
Well, when I was a couple of feet in, I was like, this is harder than it looks. I'll just keep going and going. But but that was sore. But eventually hit the bell. And then 2 8-foot walls came after that.
Ooh.
Nice.
Especially because you're pulling hard. I know you're locked in with the legs and all locked over, so you're taking some of the strain, but you're still working everything hard for balance, for everything.
Yeah, my triceps are killing me right now because the push up over these kind of things, like, and this is a couple of days later, I'm like, oh, they're still feeling stiff. I got a good workout in. But that you literally just run foot on the wall and just try and jump, grab and pull yourself over. They weren't as bad as I thought it'd be. And then they had like a little log around a foot or two high onto the side for people that wanted to use that option as well to get over those things. But still, if you don't jump over, there's the orange ribbons there. There's another penalty, 200-300 meters, and they all start adding up. And then somehow, after a couple of kilometers after that, I end up at the beach. I'm like, what? How did this? Edinburgh has a beach. Now, I tell you what, though, it's not the beach you want to go down and see. Like, there's sand there, but, like, you're not sunbathing here. Like, it's not the nicest beaches in the world. Yeah. Good views around, but the beach itself wasn't that nice. And they had what was called armour, which was basically a ball and chain. And you had to, like, walk, I don't know, 15 feet down and back. Maybe a little bit more than that. Trying to judge off the gym. Around 12 meters down, 12 meters back. But it only had like single hand cables machines. So it only had one single arm. So you're pretty much grabbing that. And I looked it up afterwards. It's around 45 kilo. But it's this massive ball. It was awkward as hell. So you're kind of like shimmying down, turning around, shimmying back, and then running along the beach to the next one. And there's still good bits of gaps this stage. And there's no markers of how much you've done. Like an idiot, I just put adventure race in the watch. So I had no idea, have I done 15K, 10K? I was just going off time, being like, well, the rest has to come soon. I knew the last 10 or so were going to be spiced. We're going to be all brought in together. But I was still thinking, what's next? Couldn't think of it. Z wall after that, which is pretty much just rock climbing in a Z shape, like you're going one way, trying to go angle yourself around, back in again. Decent obstacles. There's not really much saying. It was a decent obstacle. I enjoyed that one because I finished it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't have finished it. But the next one was fun because people were failing this one left, right, and centre and sliding on all over the place. It's called Olympus, and basically, if you can imagine,
going one.
No, not yet. That comes later. Don't worry, the fail comes later. But this one, it's like if you can imagine a triangle, where a big isosceles triangle, but it's only like 8 or so feet high. But you have like little holes, chains, and like handles of rock climbing things. Yeah. But you can't use your feet on those things. So you have to guide yourself across. But if you just use your hands, your whole body weight's lying down. You're trying to go 20 feet. And you're kind of like a snail going across. It doesn't work. So you have to like bring your feet up as high as you can and lean back on it. And then you're grabbing on the way down. And people are just like fish flapping all over this thing, which is funny to see. But thankfully made it across that, hit the bell, and I was still like, right, only one fail. And the next one was called the beater, which was monkey bars again, except the first one was a straight bar and the next 3 were at different heights. And if you can imagine a rectangle box where the corners were like bars, but if you grab one, it starts spinning. So you have to do a little swing back and jump. And this is when I realized that the big mistake I made in my training was when we're doing the monkey bars out in Portugal. Yeah. They weren't that far away. So while you did swing, they were close. If I was in that exact same place again or in the local park here doing monkey bars, I would try and grab every second one, because a lot of them require a big swing. So anyone that's doing the Spartan race in Limerick, for example, in August, the big tip I'd get is like, get good at your pull-ups, get good at your hanging, but also don't the shorter things, nothing I did had short. It was all kind of, I had to swing, reach and grab, sometimes let go of one to grab onto the other and then grab on. And this one swung a bit, but that last one, you kind of just take that big swing back and just hope you hit the bell before you drop to the ground. And thankfully I did, felt good again. And all I went, another kilometer run, going through woods. And then it sounded like a construction site. I just heard banging of like loud metal. I'm like, what the hell is this? Turn the corner and there's all these chains in a box. Had to look afterwards. Each like big massive links to them. It was around 45 kilo. Trying to throw that around my neck and not knowing how heavy it was, smacked myself in the back of the head. Good wake up call to start. I was like, fuck. And then just trying to get used to them, like wrapped around my neck first and then moving them back a bit. But then I'm back on the beach again. I'm going around the beach, back in. That's why I have my little picture by the beach. I see the camera. I'm like, I'm smiling for him and I am tensing as hard as I can because that's profile pic right there.
I'm getting money out of it.
Absolutely. But then we get to a river and I'm like, oh, we're at the other side of the river. I had to go down the riverbank, across the river, back up the hill, which everyone's been on, so it's slippy as hell, while having a 45 waiting me back, with the chain on still. I'm like, who signed off on this?
I was just about to say, who did a risk assessment for a chain around your neck crossing the river?
I don't know how they got away with that one, like, because you were, like, normally going up a river, you're like, oh, I'm going to slip on my hands and knees, but you can't go hands and knees with chains around your neck, so that was like, I'm taking my time here, baby steps, don't care who's behind me, and then it was a relief to get rid of that. After the kilometre run, I think that's when I came up a hill and I saw Niamh and like everything started getting bunched together then at the end. I knew I hadn't got much.
Well, like, you have to expect, particularly when you're doing 21k, the effort it would take to set up obstacles so far away.
Yeah.
You know, well, it's all going to be at the end, or most at the end anyway.
Yeah, and I even because of the views and the trails and the challenge of doing a 21k, I'm delighted I did 21k. But like if I hadn't, I probably would have only missed. I missed 10 obstacles, but like some of the, like a lot of the stuff you still get that I'm going to explain down in a second. Yeah. But like I still would have got that. I think the water one was still in a 10k, but then some of the other ones that I mentioned that weren't there. But I guess still getting a class experience if you did 10k. But then after I saw Niamh there, next one was called Stairway to Sparta. That's if you saw my Instagram, that's the second the first video I have where it's like a 8 to 10 foot jump up and there's a couple of bars and then you're climbing up for ages. But that's the one where I literally
you're climbing.
I literally used all arms. Yeah. I literally used all arms there on that one. And then I was just like straight up. I missed one earlier, which was called Bender, which is pretty much similar, except the bars went out towards you, so you have to kind of climb up backwards.
Which is hard.
It was tough. It was actually really hard to get over that one. That one came after the cargo net a lot earlier, actually. But it was hard to get around and over it. But at this stage, that's when I realised if anything's getting me through today, it's arms. I haven't got technique. I just got to rely on just pulling power as much as I could on that. But then a lot of them start coming together from there. A-frame, cargo netting that goes up like 30 feet high, 8-foot jump, climb yourself up over. That was cool. Cool stuff start coming in there.
Like,
it was high.
But when you're watching the video, you're like, gee, you're going up there. You wouldn't want to slip.
No, for some reason, you had a net like literally right behind you. I don't know if you fell backwards, you'd land the net and you'd be all right.
Well,
if you had to slip straight down,
anyway.
You're able to stay tight enough to it that I didn't really feel like I wouldn't be great with heights, but I didn't really feel like I'm in trouble here. But yeah, no, that was grand getting up and over. After that, then you had to do, I think it was like an inverted wall. You jump up over and that, but that wasn't too high. That was like 8 foot, and you literally just do a pull up and a couple of steps and up and fall yourself over on that one then. But a lot of carries start coming into this again. There was a ball you had to carry up on your shoulder. Probably, I'm not too sure on the weight in that one, probably 20, 30 kilo, but it was awkward carrying up there, carrying out in front, walking down and back. And then you had to carry a sandbag, which was around 27 kilo, 60 pounds. And that's where the spear thing came in. So everything up until this point was penalty was laps. This one was supposed to be 30 burpees. Those that were like competing, you had one chance, that was it. But when I got there, it was kind of quiet. And your one was like, I was like, did you say to that guy there you can have as many chances as you want? And she's like, well, yeah, it's quiet. Go for it. I'm like, well, I'm not doing burpees, so I'll stay here all day to hit this fucking thing. So you basically, I don't know how far away, maybe 20 feet away from the hay bale, if even. But the spear is attached to a rope. So I went, trying to balance the rope in my hands, so just go straight forward with it like a dart throw. Threw it. Then I step on the rope as I was through it, and I was like, the thing just came straight down because obviously a step in the rope, I hadn't got enough fucking length to hit the yoke. And I'm like, oh, we're going again. Step 2, go again. Didn't get it. And then your woman's like, right, more people are coming. You have one more chance. And I'm like, I am putting this spear right through this thing. This is going right through this chance. So I kind of took a step or two back and I was like, right, this is going through. Reach for as hard as I could through the thing. Leaned forward a little bit too hard. Went into the railing, fell over the railing nearly, and the railings behind me start coming up in the air. And I'm just like, did I hit it? I looked up, the spear's in the ground. I'm like, oh, right, I'm going now doing 30 burpees. So made an arse of myself and had to do 30 burpees because I didn't hit the target, which was shit. And then you have to pick up your sandbag and go all the way down like 100 meters around back in. And then you're carrying buckets from there down a hill, thing called Hercules hoist. There's one of these in Hellenbach where you're grabbing what was the weight? Around 60-kilo bag, I think it was. And you just have to it's on a pulley system. And you just pull on the rope till the thing comes up back down. Carry your bucket back up the hill. Then you're on to the rope climb. I practiced this last week once. I was like, maybe I'll be all right. Maybe I won't. And I was trying to put me foot around the outside, catch it, bring myself up. I knew Neve was watching as well. I'm like, I better get this right. I couldn't get my feet right in to bring myself up. And I tried again. I was like, a little bit higher. And I was like, fuck this. Use my hands. So I did 1 or 2 with my hands. And I was like, no, try and use my feet. And I spent so long trying to put my feet in. I'm like, I could have just climbed up my hands and hit the bell at this stage. And I kept spinning around in circles. So I kept spinning a bit and I couldn't control myself. Eventually, I thought it was going to be harder, but hit the bell. And then slowly coming back down, I was like, I am class. I am class. Follow my arse. I am not class. I am not class.
I've seen that. I've seen 2 things. I've seen you going straight through the fence and then I've seen you falling flat on your arse after the rope. I was like...
And I wouldn't mind, but the post that morning I put up was like, I recognize I'm not the most athletic person in the world. And as I'm aging, that gets worse. And it was a true story. Like last Sunday, was it last Sunday I went for a run and I came back and Neve had left the kitchen door open. I didn't know she had. And I only saw the kitchen window. I've got through my keys. So like I had to try not hop in through the kitchen window, the counter and hop in. And I'm like, I am the most unathletic person I know. Like, how am I supposed to do a Spartan race? I can't believe I used to be hop walls and all this kind of stuff when I was younger. I felt so uncoordinated and I feel like I'm getting worse. And I'm falling off ropes and push myself through barricades. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing these kind of things. But the end was a sight after that. It started to rain at this stage. The barbed wire crawl was up next, uphill on rocks and muck and stuff. And this is where the ego kicked in because I saw one guy actually, he'd take a couple of steps and then like his head would come up out of the barbed wire and back in again. I'm like, he's going to do something stupid to himself. I'm not doing that. And then I saw a few people rolling and I knew rolling was a better option. But then they had a photographer at the end and you don't look great when you're rolling. You look great when you're crawling.
Yeah, because of all the times you've been photographed rolling. What the...
You can see it on the Instagram post. If you see the picture of me crawling, you'll see a girl behind me rolling. Let me tell you, she started rolling and got that station around 30, 40 seconds after I started crawling. Like, and she's just behind me waiting, like, come on the fuck. And I'm like, get that good fucking pic. I paid for this. Got through that. And then multi-rig came up next, which was like rings. You had to swing yourself across like Spider-Man. And then there was a bar, horizontal bar. The bar one end was actually far end away. And that was like loosening a cable. So you kind of go sideways across that. Then there was a battle rope sticking down. You had to grab onto that and then like reach across towards the bell. But it was raining so much this stage. As soon as I grabbed the rope, I'm like, my hand's slipping here. So like in my mind, what I did was I did a pull-up. I jumped forward. I leapt off both things and I hit the bell and came down and I looked class in my head. What I actually did, looking back at the photos, was I half pulled up. I never let go of the bar and I just reached forward past the rope, hit the bell, and as soon as I hit the bell, then I let go of the other hand and came back down. And I was like, that's not half as cool as what I thought I did. I'm like, mind is lying to me. The last three obstacles, a slip wall came after that, which was, if you can imagine, a big A-frame rope. And then there's a hose on top of it, and it's just spurting water everywhere. Wet wall was right, and that was easier than I thought as well. I just grabbed the rope, did a Batman and Robin from the 60s, climbed up that. Deadly. And then the top of it, you just gotta have to jump forward to stay on top of the A-frame, slide down the opposite side, and then the monkey bars, the last one, and I didn't know
you've been practicing.
The one I've been practicing, the one I was saving for, and as I got there, I just see a load of people coming back my way because the penny loop was there. And I see the monkey bars. I'm like, I've got this. This is the main one I've been practicing. When I got there was a bar low, a bar up high, a bar down low, a big gap, bar down low, high, or maybe it was high, low, high, or something like that. So you had to swing and jump up. And I swung, got the first one in, came down again, and then the massive big swing afterwards. I'm like, this just seems that little bit far away. And then as I swung up, went to catch it, completely slipped, landed on the ground, felt my whole left side cramp up. And I was like, the one obstacle that I fucking trained for more than anything else. Penalty lap it is. Blamed it on the weather.
Shame.
That's the second time it hit me. I was like, that was a little bit shameful. And then came down, and the fire jump was the last thing. And a lot of the Spartan race, the fire jump, it's a little flame. You don't see much at all. You see it all online. It doesn't look like much. Whoever was working the fire jump in this thing, they must have been constantly on it, because that thing was like bonfire flaming. Now, not so much so that it was you were worried, but you were like, I am jumping over a fire here. This is not the smartest thing. Don't land in it, whatever you do. So took a little sort of step, and then took me a little jump, had a little scream like a little girl, because why not? Everyone else laughed. I thought it was funny. And then got across the finish line from there. But overall, I failed 3 obstacles. The twister, the monkey bars, I think I just need to practice with swinging more. Twister was more down technique, and then spears hit and miss. Like I even saw, even the elites, there was a guy leading the 10K race, was a national race for that one. The guy leading that got to that one missed the throw, had to do 30 burpees, and the guy that was, the 2 guys that were in second and third went up to first and second, hit the spear throw, and ended up finishing first and second, because if you're doing 30 burpees, you're not catching up at that level.
He even knew it himself. He was out of the race. He was like, I'm done. I watched those highlights of it. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's mad the way that it's something. So I've seen other races trying to study for this thing that could decide whether you win your race. Just one little spear throw, and I don't know what gym you're in, Eric, but they haven't got spears in ABC gym as much as I love it to throw at people. Had a little thought about doing that for a second. Excuse me.
I'm going to be going out practicing all the sheep now underneath the head.
The poor sheep. But overall, absolutely loved it.
Would you do it again?
In a heartbeat. I would actually do Scotland again, because of just the trail, the views and everything of it. I would do it again. I didn't really race this one, as in I took my time between obstacles just to go, I want to have energy to do the obstacles, and I'm not, I did a 23K last week and I hit a wall because I went a bit too fast, but I'm not at my absolute fittest yet, or near there, so I had to take my time during it, and not 100%. The body's still not 100% still, but oh man, definitely. Oh yeah, I would enjoy it. The way you do a Hell and Back, and look, Hell and Back's a different beast. If you're there with a crew doing Hell and Back, it's a bit of crack. You're getting shot at sniper rally. You need a buzz. You need a good group around you, and you're helping you to get through obstacles and all that. That's great. But what I was looking for was a challenge of, like I said to you earlier, when you get to obstacles and you see people failing it, it's kind of like, okay, this is hard. It's not just everyone gets to do this and finish this, and there's penalties for not doing it. And that's what appealed to me, to going, okay, well, you're going to be tested here. I needed it to do a good 2-3 months of pull-ups and monkey bars and all the rest. Had I went to this the way I would have went last August, not before I got injured, man, I probably have a different experience. Or like those obstacles were too hard. So I worked in this one. I would definitely go back to Scotland for it. I have no idea what other ones are like, but I definitely would.
Is it a solo event or is it a group event? Would you go with people
Do
you've trained with, or is it completely, listen, see you on the other side?
I would if they're the same level.
Yeah,
So there's
okay.
good. I saw a couple of things where. So I saw. There was a group of 4 or 5 lads that were sticking together and they were having great crack bouncing off each other. And then I saw a girl and a guy doing it. I assumed they were a couple, and she kept doing the obstacle and getting ahead a bit and then stopping and waiting on him. I seemed to be the same level as her, and then she kept waiting on him to come back in, and then I'd see her again for a bit, and then she was gone, and then I just didn't see her again, and she kept waiting on him. That was me constantly waiting,
I'd be
and
embarrassed as well if I was constantly being waited for.
Yeah, I just be like, here, you feck off. But you've got 3 or 4 and someone fails and the other 3 pass. You're not looking at time. You're like, right, we're waiting this. Go on, do your penalty lap there. And, you're taking the piss to come back in. Right, come on.
You get the 2-minute break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you'd enjoy it that way, not races. So a group that way, but you'd have to be on similar levels because there's specifically no assistance. When you get to the signs, it's really well done. Like every obstacle has, here's the hazards with it. Obviously, you get to the slip walls, like slippery when wet. I'm like, no shit, Bon Jovi. But like the other ones, as well as that, it does have no assistance on all of them. So like who's going to help you on monkey bars to get through? You're not going to wait. You could get help, I suppose, on an 8-foot wall, but the idea is to do it yourself. And there's someone there as well to say, hey, look, you guys planning that, you can't do it. I would do, you'd have to be the same level. There's a few of us doing the Limerick one in August, and no, they're not sponsoring the podcast or anything like that to put that there. But I because the lad booked us in the fucking competitive wave, I don't know if we'll go all out together or we'll go and try and race the thing. I kind of hope we go all out together and just enjoy the yoke. But depends on what I'm feeling in terms of my fitness on the day. If I'm feeling really fit, I'm like, right, race time.
Yeah.
But if I'm not, lads, we'll do it as a group. This will be great. But I'm hoping if it's anything like it was in Scotland, that's going to be class. I'm hoping a lot of the same obstacles are there. Because the obstacles lived up to what I thought they'd be, except, man, I'm a bit precious. The dunk wall, there's no need for a dunk wall. That's the
only one of the ones you have described that I'd probably pass.
There's no need. There's no, do a Tough Mudder instead.
Maybe I probably would have got the spear, but I would have failed everything else. But the way
you're long enough.
I'm like, nah, not a chance. Holding myself, pull up monkey bars. Sure, I can only do about 3 pull-ups.
Hydration is key to fueling endurance performance.
Perform Nutrition's Electrolytes Plus sachets have been specifically designed to fill the need for advanced hydration for athletes.
With 1,000 milligrams sodium, all essential electrolytes, and 2,500 milligram performance blend made up of glutamine, taurine, and coconut water powder, one sachet will replenish and revitalize your hydration.
Using natural flavors, natural colors, no added sugar, and no added fillers, each sachet has a sweet and lightly salted fruity flavor and comes in either mixed berry or citrus.
Informed, sport tested, and trusted by Olympians such as Kate O'Connor, world champion boxer Aoife O'Rourke, and pro triathlete Nikki Bartlett, and many more elite athletes.
Trust Perform to fuel your excellence, and by listening to this advert, you are supporting Irish businesses and this podcast. Now let's get back to the episode.
Do you know what the mad thing was? A lot of it's more swinging the pull-ups. The pull-ups helped me for like the climbing stuff where I wasn't using my legs, the stairway thing, the Spartan, that kind of stuff. The pull-up strength, the inverted walls, that made that a lot easier. But I'm sure the right technique, you wouldn't need as much pulling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's definitely a technique to a lot of them. The hanging is probably more important. Being able to swing is a little bit more important than just pulling strength. But like you'd have the reach. So I think that wouldn't be as much of an issue. There was definitely all shapes and sizes and stuff like that did this as well at different levels, which was great. And there was also a thing they do called a trifecta. So when I finished this, there was lads that finished beside me. I was like, right, I'm back out in 45 minutes. I'm like, for what? I was like, 10K. Huh? So they went so there's 3 different options. There's a 21K beast. there's the 10K super and there's the 5K sprint. And if you do all three, you get a fancy medal or stuff with it. But people go and do all three in the same day. So they did 21K, they had 45 minutes to rest, 1 o'clock was their wave to go out, do a 10K. They probably did that in 2+ hours, based on doing 3+ hours for the 21K. And then they're back out again for the 5K.
Nah, the novelty wears off. It has to.
I would think so. I had no FOMO at all. When someone's going back out there, I'm like, here,
Yeah,
I'm going to...
let's all do that. Well, maybe then you were probably like, oh, well, maybe we might because I want to try this, and this again. You know, maybe, but geez, definitely by the time I got to the 5K, you'd be like, fuck this for a game of soldiers. I'm going home.
I went straight to Holy Duck. I got myself a duck burger and duck fries.
Oh, yes. What a name.
After I hosed myself down with cold water on my ankles and feet, had a fucking panic attack.
Stop rubbing it in with the ankles and feet, will you?
No, I meant it my way. My ankles and feet, fucking frozen.
I could do with an ice bath now here for this little ankle. But yeah, it's definitely different. It sounds like Hellenbach I would describe as a community corporate event.
Yes, 100%.
That anyone can show up and do. It's no big deal. As long as you are fit-ish and well, you can do it. And even if you're not, you can. This one sounds a little bit more like, let's be honest, if you don't even put in any thought, you're not having an enjoyable day. Would that be a fair way to describe that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I failed any more obstacles, like, I'd be like, come on, Seán. Like, there was a couple of obstacles there where if I didn't get my pull-ups in, I would have failed and I'm like, this is a bit embarrassing now. Like, I don't care about failing the spear throw because that's a hit and miss. But if I started failing, like, you know, if I couldn't jump over an 8-foot wall, I'd be like,
okay.
And if you can't do that, you'd fail a lot of them. Like, even like the one we talked about earlier, that rope and the feet climb thing, like, the hanging, getting used to hanging and stuff got me through that.
Yeah.
Had I failed that one and one or two others, I'd probably be having a slightly different conversation with you and talking about how I wasn't fit or ready for this event. Not that I won the thing or anything like that. Like, my rankings is somewhere smack in the middle. Yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Like, if I train running more, if I train the swings and the monkey bars, grip strength more, and just more knowing a bit more technique. I'm glad I watched the YouTube videos I did. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it. So if you're doing this one in Limerick and they released the map, there's a lot of videos. They're only 2-3 minutes long that give you just inside technique. And I'm surprised in seeing a lot of people that didn't know it. And I didn't want to be like, here, you should do it this way when I hadn't even done the obstacle yet or known if it would work for me. So I wasn't one to give advice. But if you know the technique stuff, it's not as bad to do. Just a bit of preparation and training for it. And yeah, I would recommend. I thought it was deadly. I hope to do longer ones over here.
So is it part of your yearly calendar?
No. Not yet. And not because of how great the event is. I'm going to leave that for another episode closer to the end of August on exactly why that is. But all I'm focusing on is the next 2 months right now. See if I get my marathon training back up. I have signed up to a 5K in August. The start of the month to the Trasden one down in Naas. I have no idea if I get my fitness anywhere near attempting a sub 20. I'm going to do Trica with a friend at the end of the month. And then the hybrid series with another friend the week or two before that. And just go out and enjoy them, see where I'm at. And then, and then after the 5K, I'm doing the Limerick 5K run, and then I'm going to see how August, September. I am signed up for September half, but we'll see.
Is Dublin Marathon ticket still in the pocket?
I think so. Unless I do zero training, I do think I haven't respected Dublin Marathon the last couple of years, and I do think that's led to a few injuries. If you don't, I will say that I don't want to put anyone off to Dublin Marathon because it is the case we start doing 20 to 16 weeks. What I will say is that I don't think I did enough mileage the last 2 years. And I got away with it. I don't think I did enough for Barcelona. And I think now everyone's injury history is different. And I know if I don't do enough my lower back season's up. It's gone twice this year so far, which is worrying. But if I don't do enough mileage towards these events. The marathon is a distance that needs to be respected. Having said all this, I'd probably end up doing it anyway, more than likely, and not be 100%. But I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. It's not something you mess with. That I mean, you've talked about before. That distance, not ready, it could set you back weeks, months, a lot more damage than good. It's just not something that you should mess with.
Yeah, we have probably talked about that and have done it. We've done it with. We joke I did it with 4 weeks and this, that, and the other. But what you're not seeing is there's a year of triathlon there, or there's a
a
foundation of 7 marathons before that, you know. Yeah, so it's the influencer side to be like, I'm just gonna show up and do a marathon carrying a tree, you know, like it's just like it's not you know, it's a tough distance. More and more people are doing it, but that doesn't mean it's easy. So it's definitely one that people 20 weeks to go now, 16 to come. It's one that people need to keep their eye on, and the weather is a little bit difficult now to be involved in, but yeah, really focusing on that training and of some sort, you know. It doesn't have to be all running, you know. Injuries happen and stuff, but definitely making sure the cardio, the body is able to take the distance.
Absolutely. I mean, getting out, even indoor bike or something, indoor treadmill if the rain's that bad. Summer, it's not always, it's supposed to get better by the time this podcast goes out. So there's probably going to be great weather again. But like, just even if you're doing a 16-week plan, that doesn't mean you do nothing between now and 16 weeks. Do something, build yourself up some way. Just get a bit of running in, but get a bit of gym work in if that's the case. Working your core, your leg strength, all that will stand to you on a day. There is I don't want to be a negative nag on that one, but there is a lot of that out now where you just see, I did a marathon with no training, and here's how I got on, stuff like.
Yeah, the hook, as they're calling it, the catch. Yeah.
Yeah,
the hook.
yeah,
You know, the famous
that
one
kind of
line.
stuff. And I'm being a hypocrite because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
There is races where I didn't put in the effort that I should have, and I have paid. Not straight away, but the niggles coming afterwards. I don't know how many times I've talked in this podcast about my Achilles, my calf, my lower back and stuff, and a lot of that is thinking I got away with doing a long event, and then afterwards going,
Did I know?
Did you really? Did you really? Because when you get injury, sometimes it's not just that one specific thing you did wrong. Sometimes the accumulation of things, and then that's the straw that broke the camel's back. But what a negative way to end that fucking episode on, Eric.
Yeah, well, look, I had to bring you down after all arms and pull-ups and stuff. You've gone around like fucking Superman there, so had to bring you back down to earth somehow. But yeah, definitely one. Someone has mentioned to do this to me a couple of times. But yeah, I'd actually be embarrassed. I'd have to, like you, I'd have to spend 16 weeks practicing climbing things. You know, I'd have to go back. It's been so long since I've moved the body in that way, you know, so
You'd be annoyed yourself if you didn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't enjoy it. It's not worth the money
No.
if you didn't. And then like that you've described, you're taking a 10-foot fall into water. Who wants to be doing that? So it's, you know, definitely one to look and definitely one for people to consider if they're looking for something, or, you know, triathlon or high rocks, or they're looking at something different, a 5K or a 10K option there to get a taste. It's definitely something to look at.
Absolutely, especially like I said already, hopefully that 5K in Limerick turns into something more next year or two. There's a few of them that are constantly in the UK, out in Southwest, and then there's a few other ones. Scotland is already for next year, already selling tickets. I think it's June 7th or something like that. That is something that I would be really interested in doing again.
Ah, deadly. Well, look, maybe that could be our next year's trip, half marathon trip, huh?
We'll see how the WhatsApp group of the Barcelona trip this year is hopping if they got to this far in the podcast, and that will go absolutely not. No fucking way.
Well, on that,
but the half marathon with twist, absolutely. With that being said, for our first Thursday episode, a long time, the two of us. Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode, this Thursday special episode of the Any Given Monday podcast with myself and Eric. Take care.